Pyraeth. They told us it was uninhabitable, that its crust was too volatile, its surface too unstable. They were right, but they didn't know what burned underneath. The skies over Pyraeth were fire-streaked and thick with ash. No satellite could peer through its perpetual smog. From orbit, it appeared dead, a planet with rivers of molten lava and a sky screaming in orange fury. But beneath that hellish crust, life clung to survival like a roach beneath the boots of gods. Maru Velis had lived on Pyraeth her entire life, or more accurately, beneath it. At 16, she was a scavenger. At 22, a tunnel guide. Now, at 31, she was a runner, the rare kind who dared the deep veins beneath the mining domes, where maps failed and gravity bent sideways. Her latest job? Escort a cargo unit through Sector Veta 9, a deep tunnel abandoned for decades due to seismic shifts. Simple pay, dangerous haul, and one rule: don't go off route. As the transport descended into the old shaft, Maru's sensor bracer blinked a soft blue. Stable. Pulse holding at 62, she muttered. The ore hauler behind her rumbled, guided by magnetic rails. Her two passengers, corporate engineers with polished suits and artificial lungs, said nothing. It was better that way. People like them didn't understand Pyraeth. They only saw it as a resource. Maru, she felt it breathe. 2 hours in, her bracer chirped red. Tectonic pulse, she warned, pausing. The lead engineer sneered. We're cleared. Keep moving. Maru didn't argue, but she knew that sound. That wasn't a tectonic shift. It was a rhythmic pulse, like a heartbeat. The tunnel shook. Not violently, just enough to make the air feel alive. And then the singing started. It began as a hum in the walls, low, vibrating, beautiful. Maru had heard stories. Miners used to say that Pyraeth's deep tunnels sang when you got too close to the core line, the planet's central energy vein. But the songs were a warning, not a welcome. Do you hear that? One of the engineers asked, voice trembling. No, Maru lied, because she didn't want to say what she heard. The voice was calling her name. Maru Velis, Maru. She turned sharply, scanning the shadows. Nothing, but the air shimmered faintly. The walls began to glow, a deep crimson pulse, like veins illuminated under skin. The hauler behind her suddenly lost power. Lights blinked out. Magnetic rails shut down. And from the darkness ahead, something ancient stirred. When Maru finally got the power cell back online, only one engineer was left. The other had walked into the shadows and never screamed. They found a chamber up ahead, impossible in size. The walls weren't carved, but grown, like molten roots of a tree long dead. At the center hovered a crystal, pure, hovering, vibrating. It pulsed with the same rhythm as the walls. The engineer gasped. It's a core node, untouched. This could power cities. Maru approached it slowly, the voice in her head growing louder. Maru, welcome back. I've never been here before, she whispered. Yes, you have, just not in this skin. Her hands moved on their own, reaching toward the crystal. The moment her fingers brushed it, time broke apart. Flashes of lives surged through her mind. She was flying, above fire, not under it, speaking languages she never knew, standing in a chamber of burning gods, offering her voice to them, a guardian, a vessel. Then a ritual, a war, a decision to bury them beneath the crust, to silence their hunger for stars. When she snapped back to the present, the engineer was on his knees, eyes bleeding. You touched it, he whispered. You woke it. The chamber began to shake violently. From the walls, fire poured like blood. The crystal pulsed once more, and Maru heard them fully this time. We are the first flame, the hunger eternal. You sealed us here. Now you will set us free. They weren't gods in the divine sense, but ancient intelligences. Biosentient plasma entities. They had no form, only heat, light, and thought. They were the reason Pyraeth burned. Thousands of years ago, a civilization called the Keshari bound them within the planet's core to prevent galactic annihilation. But they needed a vessel, one of their own kind made flesh to hold the seal. That vessel was Maru. Or rather, what Maru had been before her rebirth. She stumbled backward as memories flooded in, centuries of silence, of slumber, of being reborn again and again, always near the fire, always drawn back. The last seal was failing, and this time she had to choose again. Maru could flee, abandon this place, let the planet erupt and take the gods with it. Or she could take the seal back into herself, fuse with the crystal, become the vessel again, the eternal guardian. But it would mean death to who she was now. No more Maru, no more life above ground, only fire, only song, forever. As the chamber cracked and the gods began to rise in smoke and flame, she turned to the engineer. "Tell them it wasn't the planet that burned. It was us. We made it this way." Then she walked into the light. 3 days later, Pyraeth's crust cooled. The storms above parted slightly. For the first time in recorded history, a blue hue shimmered at the horizon. No one knew why. The planet's core stabilized, energy levels surged. But in the deepest tunnels, where no one dared tread, an old song whispered once more. A lullaby in flame. And a name, spoken softly, over and over again. Maru, Maru, Maru. There are places where fire never dies, only waits to be remembered.